Chapter 1099. Pacifist. I've done it again. Oh my... Okay. Let me pull a well actually now. Remember how in Thriller Bark, the first thing I said is, why is his name Pacifist? He carries around a Bible. I guess it's very ironic, because he's not a pacifist. And then everyone was like, no, he's not supposed to be a pacifist. It's like a pacifier. He is a pacifist. And now a title is named after him, the pacifist. Checkmate. I've done it again. Okay. Reader request. Raccoon dogs fixing up Odin's hair. Okay. Oh, here we go. Pacifist. You've done enough, Kuma. Huff huff. There's no saving the rest. Come back. You're only going to lose your own life. Kumachi! Far to the east, another kingdom used this strategy successfully. So this is them like burning half of the thing, right? Praise their beautiful city for being cleaned of all filth in order to bring about the great bliss and prosperity. A wise king must sometimes steal his hearts and enact cruel reforms. Broski. You shouldn't do that. Taking notes from post-war. It looks like it, yeah. Definitely looks like it. The people are mounting furious resistance. Murder. Step down at once. Put out the fires in the south. Kill a handful of them and be rewarded. Okay, and Kuma's just gonna pop off. So I'm guessing this is where he gets like the Tyrant epithet, right? At Kuma's church. Hurry, treat the wounded, stay inside, Bonney. You don't want to be in the moonlight. I hope he's safe. Dad's always such a chicken. I don't think he is. Stop right there. You know what'll happen if you strike the king? You'll pay dearly for this. This incident would be known as the Solo Revolution of Sorbet Kingdom. Okay. I am sorry I gave the advice of selling Kuma stocks. I thought Kuma stocks were at an all-time high. I'm sorry to say, Kuma stocks, they keep going up. Buy again. They might go up even more. The Solo Revolution. Another liberator. The Hands of Liberation. This is genuinely starting to... This whole freaking Joy Boy thing, I know I keep referencing Game of Thrones, I know. But this is literally starting to sound like Azor Ahai. You're Azor Ahai. No, you're Azor Ahai. No, you're Azor Ahai. We have all of these suddenly, like, liberators, and I'm just like, wait, hold on. Hold on. Maybe it's not even a real thing. Maybe this whole Nika thing is made up. And Luffy and Kuma are just really, really cool guys. And there are no prophecies. Maybe. I don't know. Even if Kuma dies, Kuma stocks will not stop. Yes. Big true. Okay. Sacred Marie Joie. I hear there's a new king in Sorbet. Strange. Who is it? Oh, you know who it is. Okay. Unable to resist the pleas of the people, Kuma became the king of the realm, living out of his old church. Again, the one true crown, the straw hat, he's a king living inside a church. Very interesting. Very interesting. Kumachi, my back hurts. I think you can stop teasing me now. The one actually in control of the palace is Old Bulldog. I'm just a figurehead to make people feel better. Am I supposed to know who is Old Bulldog? Back in King Bulldog's day 2 generations ago, times were poor but we were rich in spirit. Sure was hard not having money to go around though. Huff huff cardio. Who's the girl running around the church? She looks just as pretty as Ginny. Huh? Ginny? Oh, and I think she has more around like her eye, right? Because I think she only had like 3 small bits. I don't know. Why are you also shocked? I have to be ready to go to see the horizon at sea with Daddy when I turn 10. So I have to build up strength for. Wait, what? I just had the same moment as her. Why is she big? That was Bonney? What What was that transformation? Did you eat a devil fruit? When? Okay, Kuma just passed out. Kuma's just done. Is this the age fruit? Where did she try doing it? What? She's using her devil fruit completely subconsciously. What? Okay, before we start, I'm gonna read the panels this time. Try doing it with your mind. Get older. Get older. Get older. Stop that, Bonney. You're going to wear yourself out. King Kuma, please, your majesty, grant us an audience. It really worked. She's hideous. I don't think it's right. Okay. It's not working. It's hard to get older. Who are you, mister? You must be Princess Bonney, then. My name's Bulldog. I'm something like an aide to your father. I have weighty matters to discuss. Okay, this gag is very funny. This gag is very funny. I like it, you know? The Queen Dowager, very funny. But what the hell? Did I miss like a page or something? She just has a fruit now. When did she eat it? What? Who else have we seen use a devil fruit subconsciously? I mean, I guess Luffy kind of did. When his legs stretched. But that's not really subconsciously. That was just Shanks like shaking him. And his body just reacting, right? Subconsciously using a fruit without even knowing? I don't remember any instance of like an AoE fruit. Of like someone accidentally transforming things around them. This is odd. I'm gonna read the chapter. King Beckery's coming back. Look at this nonsense in this article. Wicked dictator. I mean, who cares? I'm certain Beckery set this up. I mean, really seized the throne with violence by burning villages? He's trying to overthrow us from abroad. It means he has the world government on his side. Beckery will be back to control, mark my words. There's intel that he's already preparing battleships. We can't have Beckery coming back here. He'll have us killed this time. Don't worry. He won't set a single toe within the country again. Whatever he tries to bring back with him, I'll drive it all away. But once that happens, I'll be seen as a criminal. I won't be able to stay here anymore. Once that happens, I'll need you to be king, Bulldog. I was like, what's going on in the background? Yammer, yammer, poof. Is that like Bonney still trying to... I don't know what's going on in the background. I am so confused by this. We talked about perfect fruit pairings before. This is not a perfect fruit pairing. As of right now, this is a fruit she doesn't even remember getting, having, or knowing how to use, and it suddenly starts to activate. This is beyond weird. Let's keep going. Would you take Bonney under your wing in that case, even if this church will be in danger? Alright, I'll find her a place with the same conditions. Bonney, be a good little girl while I'm gone. I'll be back when I'm able. That's my mom. I can't wait to have this in the anime. This is going to be one of those moments in the anime. Is going to be great. You're leaving, I'll miss you. No. That's him, Navy. Kill him. He's the man who stole Sorbet Kingdom from me. A true tyrant, there it is, who's committed all manner of atrocities. Kill him now, I am the true king. You're no king, foul fool. You're a fool to show your face around here again. Why is the narrator so sassy all of a sudden? Naturally, Kuma sank all the ships. Now I'm interested. Is this like Morgan reporting on the news? Because has the narrator ever been this sassy before? It's just like, naturally, he sank all the ships. It's just what Kuma does. It's just what happens. The narrator has a point. True. There's a popular theory in Japan that implies that the Celestial Dragon gave it to Bonney at birth in hope to have her replicate or replace Ginny. I don't think Oda would go there. I sure as hell hope not. I sure as hell hope not. Okay. And fled to sea, a bounty was placed on his head. And through his pirate reputation and great strength, its value swelled over time. Okay, there are not any shenanigans at his name, nothing. It's actually just Bartholomew Kuma, okay. I wish Daddy was here, I want to see him again. I'm sorry, Bonney dear. Remember, Kuma is the hero who saved this land. I don't care, he's my daddy. I hate Oda so much. Well, you have to make it sad. Once I'm 10 out, I'm all better. I'll be a pirate too. Don't do it, dear. I can turn into a grown-up. Look. I don't want to say anything, right? But doesn't this low-key look like Luffy and Shanks? An adoptive dad driving them to become a pirate, somehow getting a devil fruit that is purposely designed for them, both aimed to liberate the world, both holding secrets beyond our imagination, both being extremely big players in the world. I don't know, man. Oh my god, Kuma is... No! He's visiting all the islands! Have you ever seen this... He's visiting all the islands he sent them to. Why the hell did he send Zoro there, though? I guess Mihawk's there. What the hell, man? I spy a hot bounty. And by the way, this like 100% confirms that the bridge they were building must be relevant, right? Like, it has appeared, because the bridge is the thing that was the most confusing to me. It was like, is this just a plot device to get Robin to meet with the revolutionaries, right? Like, what's the purpose of the bridge? The bridge has appeared. Now, it has appeared in Roger's story, right? When we saw him sail the world in Wano in the flashback. It was also there. And now it is also here with a destination that Kuma explicitly visits. So where the hell is the bridge going to? Is this another clue toward the One Piece? Is it like uniting the world with this bridge? I don't know, man. Your daughter has 5 years to live at best. She won't see her 10th birthday. So he just traveled the world with the hopes of finding a cure, and he never did. God damn it. Oh, there it is. There's Dragon. Hey there, Kuma. Hello. Eva and Inazuma were thrown in prison. Okay. And since I last saw you, you've been a king, a tyrant, and a pirate, eh? It must have come as a surprise to you. Nobody in the Revolutionary Army took those articles seriously, of course. Hey, Kuma. Could I be the captain of the Eastern Forces? Eastern Forces. Okay. Why ask me, Betty? Dragon says the position eternally belongs to Ginny until you give permission. Oh my god, and people call him a fraud? Like, what the hell are you thinking? Oh my god. So it takes a foul-mouthed woman to run the Eastern Forces, I don't mind. Sabo, Koala, and the others want to see you too. We have many promising young members rising through the ranks. I want to show them off to you. Kuma is really cooking with this one. Not Kuma, Oda. I've seen what's happening around the world, and I often wondered what you would have done, Dragon. I want to return to the fold, but... Bonney, as a matter of fact, I wanted to talk about her. You're aware of the Navy scientist Dr. Vegapunk, aren't you? Okay, so it basically is what all of us assumed. After the recent accident, he's going to transfer to a new... Recent accidents! Oh my god! Oda is flexing on us with all the flashback lores. A recent accident, that's Punk Hazard, right? Ordinarily, he's kept under heavy security, but he's more approachable during this transition. Thank you, Dragon. In all honesty, I'd given up, what am I saying? I've given up for Lost. Given it up for Lost? Is that like a figure of speech I've never heard? In all honesty, I've given it up for Lost. Okay. I'll go and speak with him. If I can just cure Bonnie's disease, then I'd be happy to fight with you again. May the winds of fate guide us well. Winds. Winds. That's not an accident. We saw Kuma bathing Bonney though, so they would have noticed if she had forced to eat a devil fruit as a baby. No. As far as I understand, bathwater isn't the same thing. So like, they are cursed by the sea, right? So they lose the ability to swim, as far as I understand. And we don't really have a big sample pool to test this on, right? So I think they lose their ability to swim in seawater, not in regular water. Yeah, exactly. The whole seawater, freshwater thing has been very vague. Because, like, The sea prism stone, which is like the sea condensed into a single bit, like completely turns off their powers, right? But it's like, what if you hand a glass of seawater to Luffy? What happens then? What if he drinks a glass of seawater? You shouldn't drink seawater, by the way. But what if he drinks a glass of seawater? What happens? Since when was there ever confusion about seawater, freshwater? Well, we don't really have like a big sample pool of what happens with freshwater, right? I don't know, because I think a lot of people just assume that it's water across the board. I've always assumed that it's seawater. But at the same time, even that has been kind of inconsistent. Some people seem to just instantly sink. Some people just lose the ability to swim. Like Luffy in, where was it? In Arlong Park, I think. He was like still flapping around, right? No, that was in Baratie, and in Arlong Park, he sank immediately. I don't remember the details of that. I think it's seawater, yeah. I think it's seawater. So I think like bathing would never reveal your power. Go where the winds of fate take you, my friend, is an alternate translation of that. Yeah, I mean, the winds. Winds is what gets me. Like, we've gotten so many hints that his power is something to do with wind. Whether that is a wind serpent dragon, or whether that's just a wind logia, or whatever, it is 100% something to do with a wind. A wind. A singular wind. I was going easy, not live to eat. Bonney, that was amazing! Naval Science Division Laboratory 8, later known as Egghead. Where are we? We're seeing a doctor to get a checkup before your disease is healed. I've never seen a man like you before. I was just thinking the same thing. Look at his head! Look at the top of his head! What a body, you have to let me study your muscles for science, of course. And that's your sickly daughter? Kind of a brat, eh? I don't mind a little lip, though. This is the weirdest thing ever. Sapphire scales. You've done well to limit them for so long. She'll survive? She will? So for him, it's just a thing that's like, oh, sapphire scales. Nice. I'll use some medical tech that I've been holding back from the public market. Why would you do that? Technically speaking, I'll be generating new stem cell... Oh, here we go. Generating new stem cells and transplanting them. It's about as much work and a cost as creating a cyborg. She'll turn into a cyborg? It'll cost as much as I said. Okay. Because stem cells are a very, very real thing. And stem cells are potentially a cure to a laundry list of health problems a person might have. Could this eventually be the cure to devil fruits? And the cure to the smile disease? Maybe Luffy can stretch the stem cells. Luffy's just gonna stretch the stem cells and there'll be more of them. That's how that works, right? In Luffy's flashback, the water weakness is very inconsistent with the rest of the series. Yeah, I guess. Luffy versus Crocodile, yeah, that's just because water is a counter to sand. Tell me, are you a buccaneer? Yes. You know I'm with the government, don't you? I trust Dragon wouldn't put me in danger. What makes my blood different from other people's? Well, I don't have enough of a sample size to explain. Oh. So he's going to get enough of a sample size. You want to make clones of me? That's right. I've been looking for the right person to be the base for my clone soldiers. Just provide me with blood samples and permission to create clone soldiers, and I'll cover the entire immense cost of Bonney's operation. You can't pay for it yourself, I assume. Bro. Come on, Vegapunk. Bro. Why would you... But this is not yet any talk of Kuma becoming a cyborg, though. This is just cloning Kuma. Also, yeah, I didn't mention it, but like Bonney sitting on Sentomaru's axe and just using it like a, what are they called? Like the things in the playgrounds, right? They go back and forth. I don't know what it's called. Very funny, Goofy. I won't be declining the offer either way. But what will you do with them? All these soldiers that look just like me, will they be in the Navy? That's right. When they see a human being shooting laser beams, those pirates will go mute with shock. They'll be laid low. By the overwhelming power of science, my soldiers' bodies will be as hard as shields, deflecting bullets and saving the populace. They'll be heroes to the common man. The mighty warriors from the future. And then, He's an old man, but true to his desires and trustworthy. That's what Dragon said about me, the nerve. Perhaps if clone soldiers based on me save other people's lives, then my own life will have meant something. Dragon's going to be furious about the terms. Well, I'm nothing but grateful to both. I would make a deal with you to save Bonney's life even if I were to be the devil himself. Just save Bonney. You're a true saint. Another very, very nice juxtaposition. Very, 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 very goofy. Very wholesome. But why is Kuma a cyborg? What's the deal with that? Is it because he eventually gets damaged? And, like, he's on the brink of death? And that's why, like, Vegapunk saves him? Because all of this is still about creating clone soldiers that are cyborgs. But none of this is about turning Kuma into a cyborg himself. Sacred Marie Joie. Clone soldiers are weapons, and weapons are valued by how many they can kill. Vegapunk would let a golden opportunity slip through his fingers, but I have a plan to deal with this. Oh. 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 He hid Kuma among the clone soldiers, basically? Is that basically what he did? Because Saturn wanted to get rid of the Buccaneer race, right? Kuma is technically the last one. So is the reason why Kuma is a cyborg because that was literally the only way for him to keep living? Ayo. A saint? No, I'm nothing like that. Just a weak-willed pacifist. I like that. I think I'll use it for the name of my future soldiers. And that's the end. This is absolutely cinema. Yes, this is absolute cinema. Okay. Let's go through it again. Number one, my favorite part of this chapter is, again, this feels just like Roger's flashback did. It's just like, we see Kuma visiting all the islands. It's like so much story packed into like these little panels. Like he searched the entire world for a cure, nothing worked. That is so sad, but so good. And then referencing like Punk Hazard even, and the fact that they never took away Ginny's position. The position eternally belongs to Ginny until you give permission. Can you imagine how guilty he felt? Goddamn. The biggest thing for me, aside from the fact that I said pacifist is the true meaning of it. Just saying. That's automatically what I assumed, a pacifist, you know, to be an ironic twist on the Tyrant part. No, it's a pacifier, it was a pacifist all along, I always knew I was right. The biggest thing for me is Bonnie's fruit. Because she has been with Kuma ever since she was a baby. And she has never left the church. So the only place where the fruit could have been is in the church. And Bonney eats everything. So, to me, the only reasonable explanation is just she accidentally gobbled up the fruit without even realizing. Is like the only thing that makes sense in my mind. But then that makes you ask, imagine, like, perfect fruit pairings. We talked about this before the stream. What the hell are the chances of this fruit spawning for Bonney? Is this just a story thing and that's it? I don't know. Because in a weird way, I think it could have been like, if this was supposed to be just a story thing, I think it could have been even done like Vegapunk eventually gets the fruit and gives the fruit to Bonney, you know? But no, it is a fruit that spawned inside of the church. Inside of the Church of Nika. Inside of the church that literally worships the god of liberation. What did this fruit do? It liberated her life. Supposedly. We don't know yet, but supposedly, this fruit might be literally responsible for liberating her entire life. I don't know. I don't know, man. I do think, like, I think I've said this before as well. I'm kind of mixed on the, I'm mixed on the concept of this fruit spawning for Bonney, not because I don't want Bonney to have the fruit, but because I think it puts like a weird spin on everything else that has happened in the world of One Piece. Because to me, this is like, okay, Bonney was saved, but why hasn't everyone else? Like, why does everyone else suffer then? Why do we have people who like die of diseases in the world of One Piece? Why don't they get magical fruits that solve their problems? So I kind of don't like the implication of that, but I'm not sure. I don't remember when it appears in the story, but it was explained that Kuma was turned into a cyborg. It was first his arms and legs. I suspect that the flashback Kuma has more pain in store. I think so. I think it's going to be a case that he is ripped apart in some sort of battle against Saturn, and like piece by piece he's replaced and eventually becomes a cyborg. I think so. There could be a couple of explanations for the fruit. Number one, the fruit randomly spawned as she was eating. That's what I think. I think she just gobbled it up. Someone brought her food and it was in there somehow. Could also be that, but again, that just goes back to like her just gobbling it up. As mentioned earlier, a celestial dragon could have fed it to her because they wanted a baby around. Didn't want a baby around. I sure hope not. I really hope not. That'd be messed up. If I was a devil fruit user, I'd be scared to eat a fruit. Actually, hold on. No, Bonney always says that she also likes meat, right? I think she was eating pizza in Sabaody, but I think she also said that she likes meat. Imagine if we have like a devil fruit user who has the same obsession that Luffy has, but not with meat, but with fruit. He'd be dead. It's just like you're randomly eating fruit, but there's a devil fruit underneath, and you see that you die immediately. You straight up die. Kuma is still the best dad, though. Kuma is literally the best dad. He's going head-to-head with Lloyd from Spy Family. We thought Lloyd... Oh my god, I love that episode so much. The scene in Spy Family where Lloyd is, like, brooding the entire morning, because, like, Anya thought he was lame. It's one of the most wholesome things ever. Kuma is rivaling that right now. Ginny was fed a devil fruit for entertainment. Oh my god. Celestial dragons do that, as we learned from Boa. While Ginny was pregnant, they fed her another just to see what would happen, and that's where the disease comes from. Bonney got the fruit power? I kind of dig that. I mean, it's horrible, but in terms of mechanics, I kind of dig that. Though, then again, like purely practically speaking, wouldn't have we seen something like that before? Like purely maths-wise, wouldn't something like that have already happened? Because, you know, thinking back to like CP9 and how certain they were that, not CP9. Well, I guess they were still CP9. How certain they were that that like a second fruit kills them. I don't know. I like the mechanics of that. That like she is born with the devil fruit because Ginny ate one. I'm still very curious about the sapphire scales though. Because maybe on the flip side, I'm gonna look into Doflamingo. Because Doflamingo is a celestial dragon, but he has a devil fruit. And he's fine. So that doesn't work. But he's also just a human. So maybe it's like a matter of different races? Somehow, like, I don't know. Because celestial dragon scales. Scales are obviously always used with a dragon, right? So is this just because she might be Saturn's daughter? I don't know. Bonney's fruit in this chapter is the biggest mystery. Everything else is just sad but wholesome hours. What the hell is even the thing? What's the thing that Kuma brings her in? Is it like a barrel with little doors? What is that? Because it looks like a barrel, but not quite. I don't know what it is. Look at the top of his head. Gross. Now I have all sorts of like, there's another like compounding variable now. It's not just like the Buccaneer race and what that does. It's now also like the scales and the celestial dragon angle, and why do the celestial dragons never eat devil fruits except Doflamingo, who now seems like even more important in all this. And the fruit just spawning. A very, very odd one. And now stem cells. Because this is actual, like, real science that has suddenly been put right into the world of One Piece. It's not some made-up thing of, oh yeah, I'll extract it and do something, something, something. This is like, no, we're just gonna do stem cells. Maybe it's, you know what it might be? It might be to tell us, like, the stage of tech that Vegapunk is in right now. If we're trying to understand why, that might be it. Like, why are we talking about stem cells? Because we, in the current year 2023, are also talking about stem cells. So at this point in the One Piece story, Vegapunk was only on stem cells. In the current day, he's got like lightsabers and such. So maybe that's what it's doing. Like, how many years have passed? How much time has it been since this flashback? This is like 6-something years, right? 4? Okay. So in 4 years, he's gone from modern technology that exists right now to like a full BCI interface where he can upload his brain to multiple clones, to lightsabers, to like rockets and everything else he has. That's a lot of stuff. Talking about Vivi, have you still processed Vivi as a D? All right. Right. Oh my god. I forgot about that one. Oh my god, you're right. I completely forgot about that. So Emu is going after people with the D in their name. He's going after Shirahoshi, presumably because she's an ancient weapon. They're going after the Buccaneer race. They're going after every other race. They hate devil fruits. Is there, like, something that they like? Is there something they don't want to get rid of? Oh my god. Oh my god, I completely forgot about the fact that Vivi is also a D. Okay, I don't even know anymore. I don't even know anymore. We're 99% sure that eating a second fruit will kill you based on, no one, but Blackbeard having more than one power. What exactly happens when you eat a second one is a complete mystery, but the rumor, the one Jobber mentions, your body explodes, just feels silly. I mean, again, I don't want to say I said it. That's exactly what I said when I think I was first watching it. I was like, what happens if someone... This was before Blackbeard, by the way. I was like, what happens if you eat another one? And people kept saying to me, well, you die. And I was like, are we sure about that? We have never seen it. And people were like, no, we are told that. And then in Eni's lobby, they say it as fact. But I was still like, no, hold on. We don't know that for sure. And then Blackbeard gets 2. But the Blackbeard thing is played up as such a huge event that I don't know. And why is it like to play devil's advocate? I think if you could harbor multiple fruits, which by the way, no, this is actually kind of confirmed, because doesn't Saturn in post-war, or maybe it was, I don't remember who said it, but someone was very surprised by Blackbeard having 2 fruits, and I think it was someone high up. I might be misremembering though. I'm not sure. But anyway, what I was going to say, to play devil's advocate, if you could harbor multiple fruits, I would expect, like, most heavy hitters to have multiple fruits. Because why wouldn't you? Like, what's the downside? So, I am still on the side of, normally you can have multiple fruits. Normally. Whether or not it's because of the D in their name, whether or not it's because Blackbeard has a literal black hole in his chest, and he can have multiple fruits, whether it's because he has already had some sort of fruit with, like, multiple souls, whether he has multiple souls in him right now, I don't know. You do raise a good point, though. We've never seen anyone die from eating 2 fruits. That has never actually happened. A disease like the scales makes a lot more sense to me, and that's why I like the 4th option, just like you, I like the mechanics of it, and it's plausible enough to answer. Yeah. And it's perfectly in character for the Celestial Dragons, right? Oh, you're dying? Well, we're gonna give you another devil fruit just to see what happens. Just thinking, like, don't think we've had anything even remotely comparable to that. Unless Makino also has a devil fruit, if that is what it is, then this would be absolutely a first. Blackbeard may be a Buccaneer. Honestly, at this point, yeah. Because, like, early in One Piece, I just wrote off all the character designs as just Oda being Oda. Like, why the hell is... Why is Whitebeard, like, 30 foot tall? 30 foot is, I think, a lot. 30 foot is definitely a lot. It's not 30 foot, but why the hell is everyone so big? And I was just like, well, I mean, they're supposed to be strong, so why not, right? Like, we have the scene of Luffy literally looking up at Blackbeard. It's like, oh, okay. But now that we have, like, Vegapunk explicitly talking about, look at you, you have to let me study your muscles for science, of course, I am like, okay, but maybe there is more to it. Maybe there is more to it. I'm convinced that the Purge of Buccaneers is based on Luffy Joyboy from the Void Century was a Buccaneer who had the Nika fruit. It would explain the frozen Straw Hat. I think that Straw Hat would be too big for a Buccaneer. My assumption is that, like, it's someone like Oars. But maybe then the Straw Hat would be too small. Because I think, like, if the Straw Hat in the freezer was, like, massive. It was a giant Straw Hat. I think it'd be way too big for Kuma. Like, way too big. Oh, it's actually a bit smaller in the manga. But still, I think it'd be too big. Because Kuma's head is normal sized. The big Straw Hat's very... Size is very relative in One Piece. Yeah, you've got a point. You've got a point. You've got a point. What, like, everything here is what has me... I said this while I was still reading the chapter. The fact that Kuma is a king living inside of the church for Nika. He is the hands of liberation. And all of that, he doesn't wear a crown. He's just a figurehead. Like a liberator of the entire country. All of that is like, okay, but Luffy, he wears no crown. He goes around liberating entire kingdoms. He doesn't rule at all. He's traveling around with his buddies trying to fulfill their dreams. Just like Kuma was trying to, like, fulfill Bonney's dream. You know? At this point, I'm starting to wonder whether, like, the D lineage is, imagine if the D lineage, this is gonna be really, really messed up, right? Because Ace is dead. Listen to this. Listen to this. You ready for another messed up Koroto theory? Imagine if the D lineage are just people who fulfill others' dreams. And Ace died, and he fulfilled Whitebeard's dream of having a family. Because he was a part of his family, so he fulfilled Whitebeard's dream. Ace was never meant to be anything. He was just someone who fulfilled someone else's dream. And he died. So if maybe Kuma as well is of the D lineage. And he fulfills Bonney's dream of being free? Maybe. And then Luffy is just going around fulfilling everyone's dreams. And then we have Law, who also fulfilled, oh my god, what's his name? Korra's dream, right? So he took down Dofi. And Dragon is wanting to fulfill the dreams of basically everyone in the revolution. And basically the entire world. And Blackbeard is also fulfilling dreams. Very messed up dreams, but dreams. And maybe that's why they're trying to hide the D in their name, because they are like literally fulfilling dreams. Like they are fated to complete others' dreams. But Kuma is not a... Like, I could at least microwave this theory if Kuma was confirmed to be of the D lineage, but he's not. Kuma is just a dude. So this is, like, again, this isn't even a microwave meal. This is a defrosted meal. And not defrosted even in the microwave. This is defrosted. You put it on the counter and just let it defrost. Saul? Yes, Saul also fulfilled Robin's dream, right? So he saved her, and she was able to continue being a researcher. The D could still be a lineage of family or kingdom, but the initial you give yourself. Yes, that is something I also really, really liked. I don't remember where I talked about this, because I've talked about these things a million times. But, like, because found family, and, like even with Kuma, right? Like, Bonney isn't his daughter at all. Technically, she's just a kid. But, like, found family and all these things, and, like, bonds with friends are so strong in One Piece that I would think I would find it very, very cool if, like, way back, the D lineage has nothing to do with any sort of lineage. It's just people being like, you know what, sure, let's put it in our names, and that's how we sort of remember us. It's like the mark, like the X on their arms, basically, right? It's just a eternal signifier of their bond. They just put it in their names instead, you know? Which could make sense. Like, we've also done the same thing with the mark on the hand. So, like the Sun Pirates tattoo, yes. Yes. So there is a precedent for all of these things already. It's just that, like, how many times do you want to do a similar thing, if that makes sense? I do think it would be neat if the D lineage is nothing special. It's just a bunch of people who got together, basically. Maybe wearing straw hats. Predictions for next chapter? Judging by this is where I'm going to get very, very artsy. My predictions for the next chapter is that it's going to be a mixture of this flashback and the present day. What I think it's going to be is, I doubt it's going to, because what I'm thinking of right now is not a manga, it's a TV episode. What I would do is I would have Kuma landing on Egghead in the present day. He would start fighting Saturn, and as Saturn attacks him, we would smash cut back to him fighting Saturn in the past, right? And then Kuma loses, and then we smash cut to Kuma being replicated by Vegapunk, right? Turning into the robot. And then we smash cut to the present, where now it's the inversion of that. And Kuma beats Saturn and frees everyone, basically, right? And then maybe, Dragon shows up, and he saves Bonney from something. That's kind of like the direction I would go with this. But I don't think it is going to be. And I still think, like, yeah, I think the chapter 1100 theory is unfortunately dead. Unless we go to the present, Dragon's going to probably appear, but he's not going to do anything. Because I think what's left now is how Kuma became a cyborg. So I think the next chapter is still just Kuma lore, basically. Like, all of my ideas, they just don't fit in a single chapter. And I don't think Oda is going to be, like, doing a 3 times the size chapter or anything. Maybe we get Dragon's Bounty? Maybe? I don't really care about bounties, though. So, to me, if we get Dragon's Bounty, I'm like, nice. And that's it. The only thing I'll state right now, I think Dragon's Bounty should be higher than everyone else. On one hand, it doesn't make sense, because technically Roger knew everything, right? Roger knew literally everything, technically. So, Roger should have a higher bounty, but I would still, like, he's literally the worst criminal, right? So give him the worst bounty. It doesn't matter what he knows. You keep calling him the worst criminal, then give him the worst bounty. Did you notice that Vegapunk didn't finish to state his dream just as Luffy? I wonder if there's a deeper meaning. Technically, his dream was free energy, but it doesn't seem to fit there. Where does he talk about dreams? Where was that? Oh, the mighty warriors from the future, and then ... Is that what you mean? No, it's not. I don't know if it's a dream. It's just like an intention. I don't know, because I could also read this as just a scientist going on a rant about how awesome his thing is. You know? It's like, there are 4 speech bubbles of him just being, when they see a human shooting laser beams, the pirates will go mute, they'll be so amazed, it's going to be great, and they'll be using it to deflect bullets and saving the humans, and the mighty warriors of the future, and he's like, oh, yeah, I see what you're doing. It may not be a dream, unless I'm missing what you mean. Maybe he talks about dreams somewhere else. But I don't think he does. That's how I read it anyway. I would have thought One Piece was going to be smaller, so probably there are many clues in early One Piece. Yeah, this is what I mean. You always go back to the beginning to figure out what the end is going to be. That's always what you try to do with these things. Because you usually think about the start, you think about the end, right? You don't do the thing in the middle. You don't. You figure that out naturally. I don't know how we can see Dragon at Egghead. He was at the other side of the world. Never forget that the geography of One Piece doesn't make too much sense often. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it that much. Don't you think Dragon will appear in the Egghead chapter because he would confront Vegapunk about creating the Mother Flame in chapter 1086? Oh boy. Yeah, there are so many things about that, right? Like, I don't know. Because even with the future soldiers, right? Like, even that is now being reframed. So, the Mother Flame, like, even this, like, look at this, right? So, Vegapunk goes on a rant about these soldiers that will protect the population and everything like that, right? And Kuma immediately says, he's an odd man, but true to his desires and trustworthy. So, the Pacifistas were meant to be pacifists, right? So, they were intended for good, but like we see with Saturn, he hijacks that invention and uses it for his own malicious desires, right? So the Mother Flame could be the same thing. So Dragon would never really do anything with Vegapunk about it, because like Vegapunk is not responsible for it. He just made the thing, you know? It's like, if you want to go real world with this, like the nuclear bomb, for example, right? Like, who's responsible for it? The people who made it or the people who used it? It's that sort of vibe, right? So would Dragon really be mad at Vegapunk because his invention basically got stolen? I don't know. I don't know. It's an odd situation. Like, every single one of Vegapunk's inventions now, retroactively, make you ask, like, how much of it was him and how much of it was the 5 Elder Clowns, you know? Because when we first heard of Vegapunk, it seemed like he was 100% on the side of the Navy. Now we know he's just a scientist making cool stuff. He's literally just making really, really cool stuff, usually with the intention of good. Like, even the bullets he made, like the confetti bullets, right? Or whatever they were. He doesn't want this stuff. So, is he responsible? Is he not? Well, I don't know. I think that's a philosophical debate that I don't know if Dragon wants to have right now. Anyway, I think I'll give this chapter a rating. It's gonna be like another 9.99999 out of 10. I thought about it a lot. It's not going to quite be a 10. It's not. It has a lot of very wholesome moments. It has a lot of lore, but I think the previous one is something that Oda is going to struggle to top for a very long time. Which still, like, the fact that it was incomplete in terms of art, that's like the biggest thing for me. The most ironic thing ever that my favorite chapter is the one that Oda didn't even manage to finish. For whatever reason. Maybe he cooked too hard. I don't know. I don't know. A wild one for sure. And once again leaves you asking even more questions. As we get I just keep realizing This flashback isn't answering damn anything. It's just bringing up more questions. We hope to understand what happened with, like, Bonney, right? No, now we don't even know why she got a devil fruit and she has a mysterious disease. For some reason. What happened to Kuma? Well, apparently he, like, liberated his kingdom and somewhere along the way he became a cyborg. It just keeps making more questions. What a wild situation. My favorite part is still Kuma visiting all the islands. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. I'll leave it there. I'll see you back next week. And then I'll see you... I'll probably be on during the week at some point as well. We'll see what happens. But yes, next week we're back for One Piece, and then in a couple of weeks, we'll be back with One Piece on the main channel. Hopefully. Hopefully. Alright, have a nice Sunday, have a nice start of your week, and then I'll see you sometime soon, TM. Have a good one. Bye-bye.